Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my knitting, spinning and crochet podcast. My name is Kirsty and this is the Little Bee podcast. You can find me on Ravelry as Little-Bee. You can find me on Instagram as Littlebeekirsty. But I post a lot of random stuff on there, so if you do go on, you're going to see a lot more than just like my knitting. You're going to see like my general everyday life. You can now find me on Tumblr as Littlebeekirsty as well. I had stopped going on there for quite a while, and for no particular reason other than I got a little bit obsessed with Pinterest, but time to move back over. So you can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and you can now find me on Tumblr. So, as I was saying earlier, my name is Kirsty. This is my second episode for my podcast. I am very new to this, but I would like to say a huge thank you to everyone that has watched the first episode and has subscribed. I went from having 1 subscriber to 11 in just a few days, and that is fantastic, and I was not expecting it at all. So thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed and to everyone that's watched. I also want to thank a few people that have sent me a few messages on Ravelry and left a comment, or have actually sent me a message on Tumblr. So my first thanks goes to Ash, who is Originalknitter on Ravelry. I got your message this morning. I'm sorry I've not replied yet. By the time this airs, I will have replied, so I just want to say a huge thank you. I will reply back as soon as I finish recording this, and I will definitely look into the pattern suggestions you've given me. So, a wee update from last week. So far, it's been a good week. It's New Year, so I should probably wish you all a Happy New Year. And I am refusing to make some New Year resolutions, but as you will have seen in my episode from last week, I've actually made some knitting resolutions, so that's pretty exciting. And so far I've not actually started any of them. Nearly put a cast on a pair of socks last night, but I'll get into that a wee bit later on. So to kick us off, I'm going to actually show my work in progress. So this is my current whip, as it's called. I'm doing the Ishbel by Whimsical Little Knits. I, for a long time, was put off doing an Ishbel for no other reason than I thought it looked horrendously complicated, and I don't know why. A lot of the women in a knitting group that used to be in my town have all done Ishbels, and my mum made me an Ishbel, and it's one of my favourite shawls to wear, and I've always wanted to do an Ishbel. I just thought I'll wait and I'll do it eventually. So I decided to make my own, start my own Ishbel, and if you'll have seen my last episode, you'll know that I haven't really done much knitting the whole of last year. I was focusing on my crochet work, and decided after watching a few podcasts that I really wanted to get back into my knitting. So I had cast this Ishbel on last year at some point. That sounds pretty ages ago, forgetting that we're only on the 2nd of January. But I'd cast this Ishbel on, and I'd started the stockinette. Yeah, stockinette. I get those two confused. I get stockinette and garter mixed up. Hang on. Stocking stitch. It is stocking stitch. I thought so. I'd only done the stocking stitch section and hadn't even touched the lovely vine pattern that goes down later on. So I'm not sure I'm going to get all this on because I'm on quite a small cable, but this is my current progress. So that's the stocking stitch section that I was doing, and then you can just see the vine pattern right there. It's a lovely pattern, and I can actually work on it whilst I'm talking to people or watching something, and I'm not getting confused. I'm not going back and going, oh my goodness, what have I just done? Which is great, because there's nothing worse than being with people, being in people's company, and you're knitting away and you're so focused on your knitting that you don't even notice if they said something to you. Perfect example was I was actually out having coffee, well, hot chocolate earlier on, and some friends turned up and they were talking and I was listening, but I was still looking at my knitting, and then all of a sudden they asked me a question and I didn't have to kind of look up and go, hang on, what? Like, what did you just say, sorry? But I could jump straight in and answer the question, which I think is great when you're out and you still want to knit but you're still being social at the same point. So I'm loving the Ishbel, and I'm definitely going to make another one because I'm actually doing the small pattern at the moment. Excuse the rustling. Let's see if I can find the first page. Yep, so here's the first page of the Ishbel. It's on Ravelry. It is by Whimsical Little Knits, and I think the pattern's about £3. Don't quote me on that. And I totally recommend it. Even if you're just a beginner, like, it's pretty simple. You've got your slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over. Like, that's like the most complicated stitch that they've got, which is fantastic. The abbreviations: bind off, K for knit, knit 2 together, purl, purl 2, repeat, right side. Yeah, so the most complex one there for anybody really, and it's really not that complex, it's just your slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over. So I'm totally loving it. I'm on section E, so I'm section D. I'm a wee bit further ahead than I thought. Well, further back, sorry. But I'm nearly finished, so this will be a fasten off for next week. This will be an FO for next week. But I had the tag for the wool, and I really want to show this off because my friend actually done it, and I don't know where I've put it down. 2 seconds. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had buried the wee tag for the yarn under a whole bunch of stuff I want to show you guys, so sorry about that. Now, Innes, if you're watching, and I'm going to send you a link to this, I can't pronounce the name of your yarn because it is in Gaelic, and I never did learn Gaelic. Wanted to, but never did. So I want to say Brèagha Yarns, and I'm sorry if I get that wrong, but here's the tag. So this is when my friend Innes dyes. She has a whole bunch of hand spun and hand dyed yarns. So this is Superwash Sockweight, and it's 100 grams. It's 75% Merino and 25% Nylon, and it is in Cajun Peppersauce. That's the colourway. And I just love this yarn to pieces. Don't know if you can see very well. Don't know if that's whitewashed basically and by the window light. But it's great. You've got this kind of darker kind of brown, and then you've got some orange, and it is just lovely to knit with. It's so soft, and I'm finding it much easier to knit with than lace, which was what I was showing you guys last week. So that is my only WIP, works in progress. I am being a bit of a monogamous knitter this week, trying to get things that I done last year finished. My only FO for this week is my maple leaf shawl that I showed you guys last week. And I'm so glad I got this finished, but I'm slightly gutted. I forgot I'd gone down a full needle size, so it called for 4mm and I done it on 3. Because I didn't like how gapey the lace was coming up at 4mm. So I went down to 3s, and it's no wonder this has came out really small. So it's been blocked and it's lovely, and you can see a whole bunch of like the yarn overs, and you can see the leaf motifs coming out. Well, I don't know if you can on this camera. So it is a lovely shawl, and the wool is so nice and soft, but it's just not long enough for me to kind of drape round. I'm going to need to get some sort of shawl pin or something from somewhere and work with it that way. But I think I'm actually going to gift it to somebody because I know they love purple I know they love shawls, so I think I'm actually going to gift it to someone and give them obviously a shawl pin with it and explain that it didn't come out as big as I wanted it to. So that is my only FO for the week, or FO, whatever you want to call it. But I am happy with it. I just wish it had come out a tad bigger, because I don't know, it looked like it'd be bigger on the pattern, but again, I did go down a full needle size, so that is my fault completely, not the pattern at all. But it's still lovely. You could still wear it draped around your back or something, like over your shoulders, but when I wear shawls, like this one for example, when I wear a shawl I tend to wrap it up and round and then down, and I wear my shawls like this. Now, I only just blocked this, couldn't tell you what the pattern is, couldn't even tell you what the wool is, but we'll get onto that later. But this is how I like to wear them. I like to drape them round and have them shown off like that. Not that you can see it very well, but that's the way I like my shawls. I don't really ever wear them like that unless I'm cold, which in my house at the moment feels like an absolute sauna, so don't need to wear that. So that's my whip, which is just one because I am being a monogamous knitter. I have made no progress whatsoever on the spinning that I did last week. I might still have the bobbin off my knitting, off my spinning wheel. So the colours hopefully come up a lot better, because I did actually manage to catch the natural light. I'm sat literally right at a window, and at one point one of my neighbours is going to come up to the window and see me talking to a window, and they're going to think I'm nuts, but hey ho. So I haven't managed to put this back on my spinning wheel. I have not touched my spinning wheel in a week, but given the fact it's been New Year, work's been absolutely mental, and then we've had family and stuff around, it's just not been an essential thing that I needed to do, so it's not been touched. And it doesn't bother me so much. Like, I hadn't touched my spinning wheel in 2 years, and then I started going crazy and I was just like, I need to spin. So it's been fun, but I really wanted to get that shawl finished and show it off to you guys, because a lot of you seem to really like that pattern, that design, which was the maple leaf shawl, and I'll put credits in the bottom for the designer, because I can't remember the name off the top of my head, and I put the pattern away because I was finished with it. So my Ishbel is my work in progress, my maple leaf shawl is my fasten off, and now I'm going to tell you about some of the things I've recently bought. Last week I said that I didn't have sock blockers, and I then decided to just Google sock blockers and see what UK companies were at, because shipping from America is just extortionate for us, and it might probably get stopped at customs, and that's just more hassle than it's worth. So sorry for all the American and like product designers and stuff, because your sock blockers look amazing compared to ours. I just got wee kind of plastic ones. So I am waiting for some sock blockers to come. I am also waiting on 2 lots of wool. I told you guys about my knit picks shopping adventure. I'm going to call it an adventure because it was quite interesting. I spent £46 and I got yellow wool. Well, I done it again. I went and bought more wool with the sock blockers from the same company and got a colourway called Acid Yellow. So it's going to be quite interesting, but with the colours I got, they all complement each other, believe it or not. So I got an aquamarine, a fuchsia and an acid yellow, and I already know what I want to make with them, believe it or not. I'm going to turn it into a blanket, probably another granny square blanket, and gift that to someone, but they are not going to know who it is because I don't want to spoil it. So I bought 12 skeins or balls of yarn and sock blockers, and I am meant to be on a yarn ban, believe it or not. I know I said it in the last one, and the knit pick stuff was before the ban kicked in, and then I just got greedy. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I just got absolutely greedy with the other stuff when I went on to buy sock blockers. So that will hopefully arrive soon. I got a dispatch notice from Knitpicks saying that my stuff had been dispatched, but I will not expecting that for at least 3 weeks because it is coming from America. And then my stuff that I bought from this other company only just, they've only just gone back to work. They said that they're closed until the 2nd of January. So I'm not expecting that until maybe halfway through the week, the end of this week coming. So I will show you as soon as this stuff arrives, and I'll be like a wee school girl at Christmas and just be absolutely giddy and be like, oh my god, I've got yarn. So yeah, that wool ban lasted a long time. And not to freak you all out, my drink is orange, as Scots are very well known for our iron brew, and I can't even really describe what it is. It's fizzy and it's yummy and I love it. If you were to cut me open, my insides would be bright orange with the amount of iron brew that I drink. If you're ever up in Scotland, try it. It's kind of like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. I know quite a few people that absolutely hate it and they are from Scotland, and I know more people that absolutely love it. And it's just, it's a Marmite situation all over again. You love it or you hate it. So, last week I said to you guys I didn't really have anything for Stash Love. I don't have Stash Acquisition because none of it has arrived. But I decided that I would stupidly go through all my stuff and sort it out. So my New Year's Day was spent kind of flipping between family and sorting out all my stuff, and it was interesting. I thought I had a lot more acrylic than I actually do, and I thought I had a lot less nicer yarns than I actually do. It turns out, if you think of those like vacuum pack bags that you get, they're about ye big, and then you suck all the air out of them for easier storage. So turns out I have, what was it, three or four good bags, like nicer yarns and stuff, sock yarns and lace weight and stuff, against, if it was 4 bags of good, it was 3 bags of acrylic, or if it was 3 bags of good, it was 2 bags of acrylic. I can't remember what it was. And then I had 1 full bag, hadn't even bothered to try and take all the air out of it, of fibre. So I thought for you guys I would go through my stuff and show you some Stash Love. So where to start? I took 3 of each out and then 3 surprise stuff. So let's see what we got. I'll start with this one. This is some lovely fibre. There's a wee bit of sparkle in there. I'm not sure if it's going to come up in the camera. And this is by Fibre Forager. Hope you guys can see that. Fibre Forager. It is approximately a 50-gram bat of fibre, carded fibre. It's Merino, Angelica and Unknown fibre. So it's it's going to be a bit of a surprise. Like it's not the softest, but it's not scratchy either, which is really nice. It's in one of my favourite colours, which is red, and I am looking forward to spinning it, but I wish it was maybe a wee bit brighter because there is some like black in there, which is going to tone it down quite a bit, I think. But then there's a huge section where it's just bright red, which is fantastic in my eyes, and you'll see why with one of the other ones I've selected to show you. So I don't mind working from bats, I don't mind working from roving, I don't mind working from locks and stuff, as long as it is generally quite clean. I'm a bit of a weirdo when it comes to that. If I've got like really dirty fibre, I don't like it. I can't spin from it. I've got to clean it first, and I don't want to clean it. I want to get it from a clean state. That makes me sound so snobbish or stuck up, whatever you want to call it, but it's not out of being stuck up or snobbish, it's just the fact that I don't mind splashing about in dirt, I don't mind doing the gardening and stuff, but there's just something about working with dirty locks or dirty fibre that it gives me the heebie-jeebies. And there's really no way for me to explain heebie-jeebies if you don't understand that choice of word, other than it gives me goosebumps. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It gives me goosebumps, it sends shivers down my spine. I don't like it. I can't work from dirty fibre. I bought some thinking that I could kind of work around it, get over that. It's not a fear, it's not a phobia, but I just thought I could get past it. But turns out I can't. I can't. So, carded bats, braided roving, normal roving, clean locks, yep, give me all that, but please never give me dirty fibre. I can't stand it. It's one of my pet hates. One of my serious pet hates. So that's my first bit of stash love to show you. We'll continue on with the fibre because it's just a wee bit easier. Where did I move it? Oh, I moved it out of reach. My next one, oh, I love this colourway. I got this at Edinburgh Yarn Festival 2 years ago. Didn't realise they ran Edinburgh last year, but they ran it the year before that, so that would have been 2014. Sorry if I'm talking a wee bit too quick, I don't realise I'm doing it. This is just, I love this colourway, and it's one of the things that when I thought about getting back into spinning, that this was one of the first yarns I thought about. And the only reason I didn't touch it as my first one is because I wanted to get back into the swing of spinning, trying to get an even draw, my doing, oh, what's it called? When you draw the wool, draw the fibre out. You know what I mean? The term's just gone straight out of my head. Drafting! There we go. When you're drafting the fibre, I wanted to get back into the swing of having it quite even, and I don't mind doing art yarns, thick and thin, coils and stuff. I really don't mind that, but I can do that with my eyes closed. I think it's a skill you never forget because it's just so easy to mess up. But, and by mess up, I mean go from thick to thin. I don't mean like mess it up. I don't think you can mess up art yarn. So I wanted to get my draw even, I wanted to draft my fibre even, so I deliberately didn't pick this as the first thing to get back into, but can't wait till I actually start spinning this one. And here it is. I mean, look at those colours. I got this a wee bit cheaper, and I just found why I got it a wee bit cheaper. This was at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, as I was saying, and it is from Serendipity. No, it's not. Forget that. Scrap that completely. It's nowhere near Serendipity. I've got this thing, it's called Mears Ireland syndrome, and I can misread things wrong. So it's nowhere near Serendipity. It's actually Spin Pretty. And I dropped the card. 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm back. So it's actually from Spin Pretty, and I think I got water on it, or when she was bagging it up, it got water on it, so it's a wee bit smudged. So it's from Spin Pretty, and they're on Etsy as spinpretty.etsy.com. The colourway is rainbow, very fitting, don't you think? The fibre is Superwash Merino, which is 62.5%, 20% bamboo and 12.5% nylon. It's 100 grams, and I got it a wee bit cheaper than they were selling it because of a wee error in the yarn. So if I zoom in on that, you can just see a green dot of colour on the yellow, and that's the only reason they downpriced it, was just for this one tiny error. And it doesn't bother me at all because these are going to be blended in on each other. They're going to blend one into the other, and it's just going to look fantastic either way, because I mean there's some green in the yellow there, so I really don't think they needed to put it down in price, but it saved me £1 or two when I was going round Edinburgh Yarn Festival, so I still love it. With error or not, I still love it, and I will still spin it, and I will make something out of the yarn that I make. My last fibre that I want to show off is from easyknits.co.uk, and again this would have been from either Edinburgh Yarn Festival or the festival that the Yarn Cake put together. I should have researched this before I started this. I'm so sorry. This has been kind of put together at the last minute. I wasn't going to record until tomorrow, but I thought when I got in there was still a bit of natural light, so I thought, what the hell, excuse the language. But Glasgow School of Yarn, that's it, Glasgow School of Yarn, which is put together by the Yarn Cake in Glasgow, and they do it every year. So I either got this at Edinburgh Yarn Festival or I got this at the Glasgow School of Yarn, and here it is. Utterly gorgeous colours, again some of my favourites, which are blues, purples, teals. This is more kind of grey, purple and blue, as you can see there. And this is, it's called Biffle Silk, and the colourway they've put down as Frozen Heart. It's 80% blue face, 20% Tussa Silk, and again it's a 100g skein. So that's what they've put it as. And yes, I did get it for £8 even, and that is their tag. So give them a wee shout out if you want. Like go on their website and stuff and check it out, see if you guys can find anything really pretty. I've not even checked their website to see if they're still running, so apologies if you do go on and the company isn't there. I doubt it because their stuff's really awesome. So that is my 3 fibres that I want to show off in my stash love. And now I'm going to go on to some of the wool I found that I had. Because I've been mostly crocheting, a lot of my reachable yarns that I have in easy access are all acrylic, so I actually had to kind of footer around and get boxes off the tops of wardrobes and stuff to see what nicer yarns I had. So again, I have 3. What is it with me and dropping things today? I mean, seriously. I got 3 yarns to show you guys. The first one, you're going to love the colour. How awesome is that colour? It is just, it's electric blue in my eyes. It's fantastic. It's aquamarine electric blue. And I've totally just realised I've bought pretty much the same colour of the stuff I got for the sock blockers. I have to start like getting stuff that's not my normal colours. Anyway, this is Andes by Drops, and it is, I want to say, super chunky, and it's not telling me. 9mm needles, which is a US 13, 100 grams, which is 100 meters, 65% wool, 35% alpaca, hence the reason it's so soft. And the colourway is 6420, and the dye lot is 1101, and it's made in Peru. I made a pair of mittens with a second ball that I got, and on my hands I just can't cope. It's a wee bit scratchy on my hands, but I get very dry hands, so I think I'm actually going to make a cowl with this colour, and it's actually going to be gifted to somebody. I can tell you that right now. I've been looking at patterns, but I'll get into the reason why I'm gifting it to somebody later on. But isn't it just a stunning colour? Like, I can't get enough of this colour. I am addicted to this electric aquamarine kind of bluey colour. It's just beautiful. It's one of my favourite colours. So that's my first one. These are all yarns I forgot I had, by the way. I bought them, put them into these sealed bags, and then put them on top of my wardrobe, and I've just forgotten that I had them. So I'm so glad I decided to go through some stuff and show you guys some stash love. My next one, my mum gave me. Hi Mum! It is Rowan. We had this last week. I don't know whether it's Rowan or Rowan. Rowan. And it is their felted tweed, and it's lovely. I don't want the felt. And I'm back. My camera decided to do this thing where it only records in so many segments, and I had no idea that I had stopped recording. So here we are back again with the Rowan tweed. It's in this lovely kind of mossy green, and I really do like it. It's relatively soft, and I think once it's blocked with a wee bit of conditioner or fabric softener, I think it could be a lot softer. But like I was saying, I don't want to felt it into anything, so I'm not going to make like a felted bag or a felted bowl or anything like that. I realise it's going to take a wee bit of care to not felt it, and I might end up felting it by accident, but time will tell. So this is again the Rowan tweed. Rowan. I'm going to stop trying to assume. It is 50% merino, 25% alpaca and 25% viscose, and in this 150 gram ball you get 175 metres or 191 yards, whichever one you work with. I work in metres. I've got 3 of these, so I think that would make quite a good size shawl, but again I'm slightly worried it might fail without wanting it to. So when I decide to use this, I will let you guys know what happens when you don't want to felt it but you still try to block it. And my last yarn that I want to show you guys is one that I actually got up in Glasgow itself. There's this wee wool shop in what we call the Barras, and the Barras is just like a location within Glasgow. Google it if you want. You might. It's near what we call the Barrowlands, which is a concert hall. It's an old-fashioned concert hall that's been there for years, and it's one of the first places I actually went to a music concert, believe it or not. And we go at the Barras, and like at the weekends and stuff they do like a market, and there is a wee wool shop, which I'm sorry I've totally forgotten the name of. I will Google it and I will put it in the show notes. I'll put it in the comments and stuff. My mum and I go up there quite a lot. We like that wee shop. It's run by an older lady, and she's always full of patter, like full of chat and stuff when you go up and you see her, and she's just so nice and friendly. So they started stocking a whole bunch of new yarn, and this is not the first one that I bought. I bought a slightly different colour, but it is sock yarn. It's not in a skein, it's in a ball. And it is a commercial one. It's by Woolcraft, and it's called the Superwash sock yarn, and knits to 4-ply. And I got it in this really gorgeous purple. If I bring that forward a wee bit, you can see all the different shades that's in it, and you can see it there. So it's absolutely stunning. And I got this in a kind of grey colour as well, so it's kind of dark grey, light grey, white, and these will most likely either be turned into socks or they will be shawls. Again, I need to start knitting things other than shawls. I've got so many. So those are my commercial yarns that I got to show you guys. So I'm just kind of throwing them off to the side so I can clean up later on. Not got much space where I'm sitting. And then one other thing I wanted to show you guys is, a long time ago I actually dyed yarns, and I am considering doing it again. It's just, it can be quite time consuming for me because I only really get the weekends off, and for reasons that are quite personal I don't not always in the house, I don't always get to spend quite a lot of time crafting. So I picked 3 out that I dyed, and I've no idea what the base is, I've no idea what the yardage is. These to me are mystery yarns. But I love it. I miss dyeing yarns. I've got a whole bunch of like pots of dyes that I've got kind of sat behind me on the floor, and it's something I might look into doing again, and I might actually sell what I make because it's good quality. And obviously when if I sell them, I will be able to note down what the base is, what the yardage is, what it is. I know for a fact these are all the ones I've got on me are sock wool, so they are Sockweight, I think. Okay, I think these two of them are, one of them's lace. So here's what I've made in the past. So we've got this one, which again kind of goes back to my favourite colours. See if we can unravel it a wee bit. So that's one of them. And there's purples and blues, lilac, kind of fades out a wee bit in some places, goes to really nice colours in others. I didn't stop dyeing yarns for any particular reason other than when I moved back home, I didn't have the space to keep all my stuff. I didn't have the time. Back then I was travelling a lot for work. When I say travelling, I just mean the to and from distance. I didn't go from town to town or anything like that. It was just literally to and from distance. And back then I didn't drive, so I would leave the house at, I think I was leaving the house about 6:30 in the morning and not getting home till 7 o'clock at night. So by the time I got home, the last thing I wanted to do was dye yarns for other people. So this is the next one. And it's I want to call this kind of like a sunset yarn because of some of the colours in it. It's really, really stunning. There's like, goes from a really lovely orange into yellow and then into purple. So maybe not sunset actually. What would you guys call it? When I say guys, I'm not trying to be like sexist or anything. It's just kind of what I say. It's just kind of rolls off the tongue. So what would you all call it if that's a wee bit better? Yeah, leave a comment if you want and let me know what you would call all of these colourways, because I don't know, I might do something. I might give away some mystery yarns. Let me know if you're up for that. Like, free yarn, what can I say? And it's just going to be an absolute mystery as to what you actually have and what yardage you got. So this is definitely lace weight now that I'm looking at it a wee bit better, and this one is just crazy. Look at these colours, they are stunning. And they go so well together. It is a rainbow. It is definitely a rainbow. I mean, we go from red into orange, into yellow, into green, a wee bit of purple and blue, and back into red and orange. So there's definitely, I'm trying to see if I can line them up, and I can't. I don't know how I dyed this, but it's definitely a lace weight, which probably means there's about 800 metres in there, but I'm not, don't quote me on that, please don't ever quote me on that, because I have no tags, I have no idea what it is totally a mystery yarn. So if you guys want to partake in some sort of giveaway with some mystery yarn, let me know. I will be more than happy to set that up for you. So, excuse me. It's the only way I know how to skein them back up. See? Ta-da! So, I used to dye yarn and I am considering doing it again. I've got someone that can supply the undyed yarn. I'd obviously know what all of them are, so it'd be easier for selling on. I'd know the yardage, the base of it. And I've got so many colours of dye that it would be really fun to start back up. So watch this space, I might get back into it. I need to buy another pot or steamer because I did actually chuck that out. I went through this phase where I genuinely thought the only crafts I was going to do ever again was knitting and crochet. Genuinely considered selling my spinning wheel, and then I came to my senses like, no, that was a present. That was a birthday present that I paid part money towards, and it was actually a birthday and Christmas present combined from my parents, and I just thought, I can't give that away. I then considered selling my drum carder. I went through all my needles, all my crochet hooks, considered selling my sewing machine, you name it, whatever craft I had that was not knitting and crochet. I downsized everything basically that I wanted to, but in the end I decided to keep my spinning wheel, keep my drum carder. Still have a whole bunch of needles and crochet hooks, but I did go through them and get rid of what I just don't touch. So I'd lost my mojo when it came to crafts, and I got acid dyes that I use, so I don't need to use vinegar or anything, which means they don't smell. There's no yucky vinegary smell, and I don't use the Kool-Aid either. I use actual acid dyes. So I would do mine in a vegetable steamer, just vegetable steamer really. And I ended up getting rid of the steamer, and now I'm going to have to buy another one if I consider redoing this. So if any of you would be interested in any of the yarns I've got, let me know, because I don't want to start and then be left with a whole bunch of yarn, because I think I've got enough as it is. But also let me know if you guys would be interested in some sort of giveaway. You could be getting this crazy wacky colourway, which needs to be I want to say re-skeined, is that right? I think that's right. Re-skeined so that the colours all mix together, or put it in a cake so you actually know what you're getting, because I think when someone leaves it like that, it can actually be quite misleading, because you don't know what you're getting, you don't know how it's going to look. Whereas if you re-skein it and mix the colours together, or put it into a cake, it gives you more of a true colour. I think it shows you what you're actually going to get. So that is my fibre love, my yarn love, and kind of like a blast from the past. And I do miss dyeing my own yarns. So hey ho, keep your eyes peeled, that could be a new thing for me. Well, going back to something that I've done. So for you guys, I went through the hassle of trying to organise my wool. No one should ever organise wool. Wool does not need organised. I put everything into bags, and I was like, right, okay, we'll keep the good stuff together and all the acrylic stuff, I'm not going to bother from now on. It's just there. It's all in bags. I know where it is. It's on top of my wardrobe. I'm just going to have to fish through a few bags, because it's just a nightmare trying to organise wool. I don't know how people do it properly. Like, I couldn't organise by fibre, I couldn't organise by colour. The only true organisation I've got is all my DVDs are in alphabetical order, and that took me quite a while, but I'm glad I've done it. So, whips, fours, oh yeah, I forgot a section. I got given these needles. I don't know if any of you have used them, but you know how when you're knitting like socks or mittens and stuff, you know, in DPNs, which are just completely straight, I was given these Nico needles. Now, I think, yeah, I'll use that one if you can see them a bit better. These are curved needles. They're orange, so James will love these. James from Dancing Peak will love these because they're orange. These are curved. Yeah, you can see them. Totally curved. And it's meant to be so that you kind of have them like that. So you've got needles going up and down, and then, so it's in the round. And then you use your third needle to knit as normal. So if you were doing that, now I've not used them yet, they've just literally been sitting. So if I had them like that, and that's how my needles were sitting, I would then be knitting into this one, and then all my needles would transfer onto this one, and then I'd have my free needle again. So knowing that I've got a whole bunch of sock yarn coming, even though I said it wouldn't be made for socks, knowing I've got a whole bunch of sock yarns coming, and finding a whole bunch of sock yarn, I have been itching to use these needles, but at the same point a bit put off because there's just not enough videos that show you how to work them, how to cast on with them, and there's definitely no information on the bits of card that you get. What doesn't help is it is in, I want to say German, so please forgive me if this is wrong. What doesn't help is it is in a different language, and there's no direction. All it's got is a diagram on the back. So if I decide to cast them on, I'll let you guys see what it looks like. If any of you have actually used them, could you let me know your thoughts and opinions of them? Because they look like they'd be really different from using your standard DPNs. And it'll be quite interesting to see what you guys have thought of them and how you've got on. If you've been successful, or if you've just cast on and then go, oh god no, I cannot work these, and just gonna put them in the back of your cupboard. So I've got two pairs. I've got a 3.5mm and a 5mm. Sorry if I keep looking behind me, it's just because I'm very now aware that my camera does actually stop recording. My sister gave me a struggle. My sister watched my podcast and told me stop looking at your screen, and I can't actually look at the screen because this is my DSLR I'm using, hence why you can hear it focus. I've got a mirror set up behind it so that I can see that I'm still on screen, and when I show something up at the camera it's still in focus. So these are the 3mm ones. The ones I showed you before in orange were the 3.5mm. So I've got 3.5 and 3mm, and I've got quite big feet for a lassie, and I don't know if I'll need to go up to a 3 or whether I'm going to need to get these in like a 2.5 or a 2.75 if they even do those sizes. So that's going to be quite interesting to use, and I don't know whether it's just going to end up annoying me and I'm just going to put them in the cupboard because they didn't actually previously belong to me. My mum bought them thinking that she will use them and cast something on, but I don't even think she tried, and she just went, nah, 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 here you go, have some needles. So they're called Nico needles, or curved DPNs. So even if you guys can show me, like send me some links to videos and stuff, because I have tried and I haven't found much, but if you've used them, if you've in particular actually used them, cast on and continued a project, let me know. But even if you didn't continue and just cast on and then just thought no, I can't use these, let me know what you thought and how you got on with them, either on Ravelry or even in the comments below. So I want to cast on with them and I want to see how much I can get done with them, because I don't know, I think they might be a wee bit easier. They are meant to stop laddering. That's really the point of them. It's meant to reduce the amount of laddering you have on your project. But whether that's actually the case, we will find out. So, looking at my show notes here. I've kind of gone right off like what I'd written. I've gone off my order completely, so excuse me 2 seconds. Ah yeah, sorry, keep moving around the chair and it squeaks a lot. I have actually started this thing for my friends and my family that is Pay It Forward, and I know a lot of you will have heard about Pay It Forward and will know all about it and what it is and how nice it can be. And basically every year I see going around like this post saying like this or comment on this and you could be part of 5 people that will get a Pay It Forward. Why is it just 5? Why is it reduced to 5 people? Not reduced, why is it limited to 5 people. I think that's a bit odd, and I don't know if it's because people don't want to be out of pocket if they sell their items, or they don't want to use up too much of their stash. But considering I'm meant to be on a yarn ban, I think it's the perfect thing. So I've decided for the whole of 2016 to do a sort of pay it forward, and I'm not urging other people to do it, but I am recommending that other people do it, because there's something really nice about making something and giving it to someone you care about, or even giving it to a complete and utter stranger, someone you have no idea who it is. You see a lot of these posts where people have tied scarves to lampposts or trees and stuff, saying that this is not a lost object. If you are cold, take it, wear it, pass it to someone that you know needs a scarf. And I think that is a lovely gesture, and I think it's one of the best things you could do. So I've actually started this project, and so far 2 people, now I only kind of put it out yesterday, but so far 2 of my friends have kind of came forward and said that they would quite like something, and one of them in particular, I already know what to make her, and there's no way she's going to see this podcast, so when I start making it, I'm going to have no issues showing you guys, but I need to wait for the right wool to arrive, because I don't actually have anything in those colours, and some of the stuff I have bought is just the perfect thing for her. So I'm not going to buy something just to make it, I'm just waiting on it arriving to make it for her. But another thing I have, and I'm going to disappear off to the side for 2 seconds and make a whole load of rustling, so 2 seconds. This is a wool I got in Glasgow in the SECC for the Hobbycraft event, and this is it. I think it's one of the Cajun yarns that you get in America. There we go. And again, it's this lovely kind of electric blue colour, the one that I was kind of showing you earlier. And I think I'm actually going to either use this blue, or wait for the wool that I bought with the sock blockers to arrive, and I'm actually going to make this girl a blanket, or like a really big throw for around her shoulders and stuff, and I think she's going to love it, and I'm going to love the idea of giving it to her, and just knowing that for at least the 5 minutes that I've given it to her, she's going to be really happy, and she's going to have something handmade. There's just something really beautiful about giving something to somebody with not wanting anything in return. So you have no ulterior motive, you are giving a gift to someone and not thinking, well, I've given this person this, so down the line I need something back. That's not it at all, that's not the point of paying it forward. The reason I'm doing this is just because I think it's really nice to give people things, and to cheer them up. Like, a lot of people can be going through a really tough time, and just giving them something handmade, or just thinking about them and wanting to make them something, I think can cheer a person up to no end. So one of the other reasons is actually using up my stash. Gives me a reason to buy more yarn, and I guess that's the only selfish part of it, is I get to use up my stash and buy stash. So in the end of the day, I get to make the people I care about things. I really need to get a camera that doesn't cut off after like 20 minutes. But as I was saying, I am doing this pay it forward for the whole of 2016. I'm not doing it for just 5 people, I'm doing it for anybody that wants something. And I know a lot of people have an issue saying, well, actually, I would quite like something. So I'm urging my friends and family to stop being so shy to kind of come out and say, I would love for you to make me something. Because I'm offering to do it. So why are people so shy to kind of go, me, I would love something. So I already have 2 people, and I don't know if I'm going to work in order, but I'm going to certainly write down who want something, and even if no one comes forward, I already have ideas for people in my life that I want to make things for. So even if they don't kind of come forward and say, you know what, I would really like you to make me something, these are my favourite colours, this is something I'd like to make. Like, so if someone came forward and said, I really love a hat in like a purple tone, I'd make them a hat in a purple tone. I'm not going to make them something, like if someone turns around and says, I'd really love a hat, and yet I make them a blanket, what's the point? They've already told you they'd like a hat off of you, so make them a hat. And if they turn around and say, right, make me a cardigan, no. Just no. No is our Scottish way of saying no, by the way, just in case you're kind of wondering. If someone turned around to me and said, make me a cardigan, I've not made myself one, why should I make them one? And that sounds horrible, but cardigans take a long time. I've never made one, so it would take me a really, 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 really long time. And I just, that challenge is for me. I want to make myself a cardigan. I have a whole bunch of ideas, hats, scarves, shawls, I'm actually going to make someone a blanket, so cardigan is a no-no, but a blanket apparently is absolutely fine. But yeah, so this is going to be one of my friend's blankets, and I have no idea what's in this, yardage wise. I think it's iron weight, because it's quite thick. Don't know if you guys can see that. It's quite thick yarn. And there's quite a lot of it. It never came with a ball band. So yardage, no idea. Colour, no idea. Brand, I think it's Cajun or Cajun Soft. It's American, that's all I know. It's definitely an American yarn. So if you guys are considering it, I would totally recommend doing a pay it forward. I think it is generally one of the nicest things people can do, which is just make for the sake of making and gifting because it's nice, not expecting anything in return. And again, I hit on that point, you don't give a gift and go, right, I've given you a gift, so somewhere down the line you need to give me one back. That's not what it's about. It's about the thought and putting thought into what you're going to do or what you're going to buy. Because I've actually said that I might not make anybody something. If I see something in the shop that I think they would love, I'll buy it. I will give them that gift. It does not have to be handmade. It can just be something that you know they're going to appreciate and they're going to love. So let me know if you guys have ever done a pay it forward and what your recipients thought of your gift, because I'm going to ask the people that I gift this to be honest with me and say, is that the right thing you'd have wanted? Do you actually like it, or would you rather something completely different? So that is my year-long challenge that I'm going to do. And it's not even a challenge, it's a year-long wanting. I want to do this. I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks now, and I put it out on my personal Facebook page and said, look guys, this is what's happening, let me know if you want something. So it's up to them now, but it's also kind of more, if I think of something, I'll just make it and I'll gift it to them whether they've come forward or not. So yeah, that is my pay it forward for the whole of 2016, and that is on top of my knitting resolutions. So you never know, I can work my knitting resolutions into this, because I want to make socks and I want to do colour work. The cardigan is for me. I'm going to make like a cardigan, pullover, jumper, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to make that for me. And then after that I might make like wee small baby ones, but I don't think I could make another adult one. But I could work my resolutions into my pay it forward, and it's 2 birds, 1 stone. Which I think is a horrible saying. Why are we hitting birds with stones? I don't know. It is just a saying, thank God. So, working back to my show notes, I'm going to cover podcasts just quite briefly. I'm still working through the original 3 that I told you about last week, which was Yarngasm, Dancing Geek, and Along the Lanes. Again, check those out if you want. I've started watching 2 more, which is the Bakery Bears podcast, which is Kay Jones and Dan Jones. Fantastic. I was in stitches last night when I was watching. I know there's quite hard hitting stuff in their podcast later on because a lot of other podcasters have talked about it. So I know what to expect. That sounds horrible, but I know that it could get quite upsetting watching some of their podcasts, but I know how it ends, which helps. I pure make this sound like a TV programme, like all of them I make sound like a TV programme, because I was saying last week no spoilers. What's to spoil? It's a podcast. So I know I make them sound like a TV programme, but I know they're not, so don't worry. So check out The Bakery Bears by Kay Jones and Dan Jones. And another one I've been watching, and I found her through Instagram, is Paper Foxes. I'm pretty sure it's Paper Foxes. I'm going to put a link in. I'm going to correct this. This could possibly be very, very wrong, and I do apologise. But she's based in New York. This could be totally wrong. I could be making this up. I will do an extra clip at the end just to correct this. I do apologise. So yeah, we'll just stick with the Bakery Bears. Been watching their podcast last night and got through a couple of episodes before I just had to call it a night. My eyes were dropping. I couldn't keep them open. So yeah, give the Bakery Bears a wee podcast watch. Wee swatch, if you want to call it. So that's going to be a brief cover on podcasts. I've still been catching up with my Dancing Geek. Totally turned into a wee fangirl. I put up a screenshot of my video and tagged James from Dancing Geek in it, and he actually liked my picture, and I turned into a wee fangirl, and it's ridiculous. And then an even more fangirl moment was when Vero from Along the Lanes actually commented on my last video. So hi guys, and thank you, and sorry for being such a fangirl. I genuinely make this being like a TV programme, and it's not. So I promise to kind of get that under control and not be such a fangirl. But so pretty much covered all the stuff on my show notes, and I've no idea how long this podcast is going to be, but I'm pretty sure it's longer than last week's. I am losing the light again. I don't even know what time it is. 2 seconds. It's only just gone 3:30, or just past 3:30, and it is getting darker and darker outside. I can't wait for summer. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait for summer. I'm so sick of going out, and by the time I get home it's dark. I'm so sick of waking up and it's dark and coming home and it's dark. I don't see daylight during the week because I'm in work. So I cannot wait for summer, and I cannot wait to start walking to work again. The weather in Scotland has just been absolutely horrific. We got that storm, and they called it Frank, which just made me laugh because one of my friends is called Frank, and we were all just like, why are you attacking us? What are you doing? Like, come on, stop. But yeah, so we got quite horrific weather. There's been a lot of flooding, which I know there's been a lot of flooding down south in England as well. And I hope if anyone's watching this, if you've been affected, I hope you guys can get back on track, and I'm sorry that it's happened. But the weather's just been absolutely horrific. Like, I used to walk to work and it was great, and then the weather started getting bad and it started getting dark and stuff, and I just started driving, which is ridiculous. It's a 5-10 minute drive or a half-hour walk. So cannot wait till I can start walking to work and it's nice and it's sunny and long for summer. One wee last part I want to cover in the podcast, and it's just for giggles. That's all it is. It's just for giggles. I've had one person come forward and say that they've watched this and they're like, oh my god, you're Scottish, I'm from Glasgow too. I'm not from Glasgow, I'm from Greenock, which is the west coast, and it's only about 30 miles from Glasgow, but we pretty much have the exact same accent, which is getting stronger as I come out of my shell more for these podcasts. And I just thought, for giggles, I'm going to do like a few Scottish words, or more Ouija words. And when I say Ouija, it is Glasgow. Ouija is a Glasgow person. So for just a wee small section of the podcast, we're just going to cover like some Scottish sayings and some Scottish words. And one of the first ones, which for anyone else you would just think of idiot, that would be the word you use. Now we've got at least minimum of 3 words for idiot, and the first one is numpty, which is just funny. The next one is bampot. Right, I'm going to put like wee inserts in so that you can see how these are worded, because you might not be able to pick them up with my accent. So the first one is numpty, which is Numpty. The next one is bampot, so Bampot. And then the next one is Egypt. People have different spellings of this, but generally it's EEDJIT. So that's numpty, bampot, and Egypt, which is all basically the one, like, basically you would just say idiot. Anyone else would say idiot, but we are Scottish, so we have like so many words for the one thing. What I'm going to do a saying now, and it's quite a funny one, but it's just because it sounds so weird. Hod your weisht. So hod your weisht, it's basically just shut up, be quiet, shush, whatever you want to call it. And again, I'll put the spelling down of the wording, like say, what am I trying to say? So you can see how it's spelt. There's so many things. Boggin, crabbit, fusty, greeting, minging, like there's so many different Scottish words. And just to cover those ones again, boggin is basically dirty, filthy. Crabbit is when you're grumpy. So I get awfully crabbit when I don't get enough sleep, or I've not had caffeine. I like my cups of tea. We get a tea machine in work, and I have at least 5 cups of tea every day. So you can imagine what it's like if I don't have caffeine in me. I can get a wee bit crabbit. Fusty is just mouldy. So if you think of that cheese that's got the mould in it, I just call it fusty cheese, because why would you eat cheese that's got mould in it? Why would you eat mould? I know basically that is where we get penicillin from, but seriously, why is there mould in food? That's not right, people. Stop. Just put the mouldy cheese down. Put the fusty cheese away. Greeting. Now, you would probably think of greeting as in Greating, as in you greet someone. No, this is greeting with 2 E's, so Greeting, and it's basically just our way of saying crying. A wane is crying, which is, no. A wane is greeting, which is just a crying baby, or a baby crying. And then the other one I had on my list was minging, which is just another way of saying dirty or filthy. So if you guys want to know any other Scottish words or slang, sayings, whatever, let me know and I can put in a few more for the next one. But I am losing the light, and I'm now going to have a fair bit of editing on my hands to get through. But one last thing I want to show you. Again, I got a message of a few people saying that they also do granny squares again. Hi Ash from the Originalknitter. This is my progress on the granny square that my friend Trishy taught me how to make. And I don't think she's seen the progress that I've been doing or had done since the last time she's seen it. So I'm going to forward this link on to her so she can see this. But this is my granny square so far. Hold it back as far as I can go. So I'm making this for a friend for her wee baby. If I reverse it, you can see where all my joins are. So I can't see what I'm holding that up, and I'm losing the light, so I apologise if you can't see it very clearly. But I love making these squares now. Like, you literally, if you're cold and you're making this, the bigger and bigger it gets, the warmer you get, because it covers more area. So as you're making this blanket, you are wearing a blanket, which is just awesome. I had a few more things to show you, and I'm actually going to just show you this last one very quickly. My parents got new bedding, and their bedding came in these wee bags. So I'm going to move a light just a wee bit closer. There we go, that's a wee bit better. So we got, well, I say we, my parents got new bedding, and they came in these wee bags. Now I had no idea what they put in this one, because this is like the size of my hand. But they got this one as well. See, which is quite big. I'm going to use these as project bags. I think they're like, excuse me, there's nothing special about them, but I mean, drawstring, toggle, keep it all going. I've just got this tendency to shove my knitting in a bag and be on the go, and not the first time that I've been stabbed by my own needles coming outside my bag, or I have dropped stitches, which just makes me cry every time. But I just shove my knitting in a bag and just go, and then my keys get tangled up in the yarn, and it gets a big mess. So I've got these now, which is ridiculous because bedding came in them, like duvet covers, like pillow covers, whatever you want to call it, came in these bags. So I now have, oh sugar, I just took my toggle off. Alright, I'm gonna try and fix that later on. But so yeah, these are my new project bags. I don't know what I'm going to put in the really small one, because it is ridiculously small. But yeah, I now have 2 project bags. Woo! But I had some other things to show you guys, but I am losing the light, so I will save it for next time. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, you can click the wee red button that I think's up there or down there. Leave a comment, say hi, jump onto my Ravelry and send me a message if you want, or if you're brave, add me on Instagram. Again, I post a lot of random stuff on there, just generally about my day, a ton of selfies, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of pictures of my cats who are not in the room at the moment. I've shut the door so they can't come in and knock things over. So yeah, find me somehow, say hi, send me a wee message. I'm getting better at replying. If you've seen the last episode, I'm getting a lot better at replying. Leave a comment, share with your friends, make yourself known, come say hi. If you're another Scottish podcaster, I'd love to know if you're from Scotland in general and you're a knitter. Definitely come say hi, because there's not enough of us in my world. If you're going to Edinburgh Yarn Festival, definitely drop a link and say hi, because I am planning on going through, but I will be coming through on my own because my mum is working. If you've got any suggestions for podcasts, any pattern suggestions for still yellow yarn people, I need help with the yellow yarn. But yeah, come say hi. I don't bite, I promise. Subscribe to my videos, give me a wee thumbs up down there somewhere. I will leave comments, especially for all the Scottish words and slang, because I don't blame you if you have no idea what I'm on about. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, especially if you've come back and watched after the first one. If you're new, hi, thanks for sticking around for so long. This is a wee bit longer than my last podcasts, but again, just thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Come say hi, come have a wee random chat. But yeah, until next time, see you guys, bye. Hi guys, so as promised, I messed up on the podcast section, and the podcast I was trying to talk about is Tiny Paper Foxes, and it is run by Jen, or Jenny as she likes to be. I don't know which one she likes to be called. So if you want to give that a wee try, that would be fantastic. I found her through Instagram. She actually liked my post about my podcast and has liked a few of my pictures ever since I posted that. She is a Brooklyn based knitter and sewer actually. She likes her sewing. So yeah, give her a wee shout and check out her stuff. She is on Ravelry as Tiny Paper Foxes as well. So yeah, I felt the need to correct what I was saying earlier because I don't even remember what I was trying to say. So Tiny Paper Foxes. See you guys. Bye.